This is SDR News and Geekazine.com's coverage of NAB, brought to you by HP.
Hi, this is Andy McCaskey from SDR News. We're here at NAB with Dr. Jeff Cornelius of Atonomy, who is going to talk with us about why a social scientist would be involved with one of the most exciting technologies that has come along in many a year. Now, you've been 13 years, I guess, with the company. Tell us your story.
So I came straight out of academia, teaching at UT and New Mexico State. And our founder and CEO gave me a call and said, why don't you come work for us? Take up a sales organization and run. So that's what I've been doing for 13 years, same job. Yeah.
So was the technology in existence at that point? Was it saleable?
Yeah, it was actually. Mike and Richard had founded the company in '96 and built the company up since '96. It started a very simple process. Simple idea of empowering machines to understand information, much like a human understands information. And that it's a fairly straightforward premise, but an extremely difficult technical challenge. A computer operates in zeros and ones. It doesn't operate in shades of gray, right? As an example, what's a black and white flightless bird that lives in cold climates, eats fish, waddles, and plays in the ocean? You have an idea, right? You have an iconic image in your mind of what that.
You're narrowing this funnel.
Yeah, essentially, with each speech act, I'm narrowing the funnel for you, right? I said black and white. You might think printer, because we are in the HP booth. But then I said flightless bird. Okay, now I'm getting much more refined for you. Well, what's really interesting about the way that the brain processes information is we perceive content, and then we rely on our experience to tell us what that perception is based in.
And humans are very pattern-seeking in their thought process, right?
And do you know why? We're efficient. We want to find the quickest path to an answer, right? So I say black and white and flightless, and I stop, I'm leaving you hanging. There's a lot to be filled in, but I say bird lives in cold climates, eats fish, waddles, and plays in the ocean. You draw an iconic picture of something called an emperor penguin. What's really interesting about that is I've given you very specific context, and this is where IDLE, our technology, the intelligent data operating layer, is very unique. IDLE says a black and white flightless bird that lives in cold climates, eats fish, waddles, and plays in the ocean is most likely a penguin. But the brain, if I say I saw a Batman movie last night, the brain goes, wait a minute, now I'm confused, and I'm beginning to get images of Danny DeVito in my mind.
Yeah, because if you had to absorb all of the detail in both of those scenarios, you would be overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, yes. But the brain's very efficient at it, right? So we're able to pick up that information, we're able to do anything with it, but a computer is not. So what the computer needs is we need to be able to help the computer find that information, find the context in which that information is articulated or shared, and then do something with it. And that's the really sweet part of autonomy is we not only can understand what the content means within the context in which it's used, but we can also then figure out how to leverage that content more valuably. So we're obviously at a rich media event, right? NAB. And the content that's typically utilized here is media, right? Video, audio. But enterprise-based data is of all different types, right? It's Word documents, PDFs, PowerPoints, emails, voicemails. IDLE can understand any piece of content anywhere in the enterprise. Understand it, that's the important component. Once we understand it, then we can leverage that information across the entire enterprise. So it's not just about understanding a piece of video or the Erasmus deliverable, understanding a piece of print media, but understanding what that media means in the context in which it's used, and then share it across the enterprise. That's the real hat trick. And that's where enterprise value grows exponentially with an IDLE-based deliverable. All of our products here at NAB in the HP booth are powered by Atonomy, so IDLE underlying most of the products that are processing information. Once we've processed it and understood it, now we can help organizations across an enterprise, business units within the enterprise, value that content. For example, if I'm just looking at media, how do I use my media more efficiently? Well, I can now repurpose. If I'm a major producer, or if I'm a large network provider, for example, or a network affiliate, I can take my content, I can resell my content based on the concepts that are in that content. So a user can search for content, find something that's relative, and then repurpose it. Huge value there, because now, if I'm a ABC or an NBC or CBS, I can take all my old shows that I have syndication on, I can resell those on the web.
How is this managed in the past, or was it just not managed?
It typically is managed manually. And everything about autonomy is about automation, right? We want to reduce the impact and the cost to an enterprise of managing information. So we automate 99% of the action of all content. If I'm an enterprise and I'm looking for content about a particular litigation that I have, well, how do you find that content? It's nearly impossible. Well, IDLE is the best and most intelligent search engine in the world. Because we understand all the content, all you have to do is ask us what you want to know, and we'll deliver it all back to you. If I want to know what a four-legged furried animal considered man's best friend is, I might search for the word dog, but if I'm really specific, I might search for the words golden retriever or Rhodesian ridgeback. Without the word dog, I'm not going to get any document back with the word dog in it. Interestingly, if I look for a document about four-legged furry animals considered man's best friend, I will never find a document about hip dysplasia in advanced aged canines. It never uses the word dog. That's a problem. Context is king to us, right? If we understand the content within context.
So that's the natural match then to extracting sentiment from social media interaction.
You've hit the nail on the head. So if I'm looking at a social media stream, which one of our demos over here has a social media deliverable, you're looking at millions and millions of posts, tweets, LinkedIn. It doesn't matter what the social media venue is, but as we're consuming that content, we can understand what the concepts are. Those concepts are rich with passion, right? Sentiment, feeling, emotion. We can pick up on all of that and understand that concept and then deliver that. Hey, my brand is trending very negatively right now because someone found a bug in a cereal box. I can rectify that very quickly now, but just by watching social media.
Well, this is a fascinating topic, and I know we could go on, and I can begin to see the unity of this underlying technology, of the IDLE technology that is being applied throughout the HP products here.
All of our products. All of them.
Where can people go for more information about IDLE and some of the academic work that precedes this?
Yeah, so a couple of websites, hp.com obviously, one great resource for all things autonomy, and we have our own website, autonomy.com. We're part of the HP family, so autonomy.com, and there's a wealth of information on there. There are also some citations to original work that our CEO and founder at the time published. Happy to help anyone that might have information or need information as well.
Okay, thanks very much for joining us here.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sandy McCaskey for SDR News.